Welcome back to Banished, and welcome back to Revingham. I am Mayor Rever, and we are here again, and we have gotten an infestation. That's a good enough reason to come back, I guess. So, like I said, I did these episodes back to back, so if I didn't respond to your last ones in this episode, I know there's a time delay that's kind of weird, but let's take these people off of working, and I guess we'll reduce our number of farmers for the moment. And this is one of the reasons that I really like to spread out my crops. I know people build mega cities where they have this perfect crop to storage layout and all that stuff, but I find that sometimes if you get too many of the same things in the area, like this, if you had all your orchards here, you could end up with all 6 of these orchards being wiped out. Now these are farm fields, so if we got an infestation here, it would affect these 2, but not necessarily these up here. So by stopping work, it just lets the trees die off, and then we'll come back here when good things happen. So what has happened since the last episode? I have no idea the exact amount of time, though I was really kind of on autopilot. Things are going pretty well. This quarry's running out of stone slowly, and well, I think we spent most of our time focused on the last episode over here, and things are pretty in shape here. I mean, we could build this fishery if we wanted to. I don't know if that's a priority, but we got our gathering hut up here built. We got our gathering hut here built. So we're really doing pretty well. If we look, we've got all this stuff in our market, so these people should be reasonably happy. Now, they don't have schools and they don't have other things, and I don't know how much more we'll do over here. Like if we did a count, we have we could up the foresters at that point and the gathering hut, but there's 3 people working here. There's 2 working in our market there, or is there 3? 2. And then that's about it. Oh, and then there's this guy. So in total over here, we've got 6 people and 4 houses. Now, it would probably be nice to get this food going. We've been doing pretty well on the food, though to be honest, it might be good to get this going over here as a source of food and not, like shut off something else if we're making too much food. So let's go ahead, and I don't know if it really matters. We might as well put the house closer to people. Now, I'm not building a well over here, so we'll put this over here. The only thing we're building. I was at the end of the last episode, I did go along and I said I would take a look at where people were walking and try to get them some more stone paths. So probably the biggest things I did was put in some more stone paths, and along with that, one of the other reasons I was on autopilot is I think, now I'm lost. You know what, I need to keep my orientation straight for myself. I think it helps you guys, but it helps me. I took all the stone out of here, so we still kind of have the same amount of stone, even though we've paved quite a few roads. Now, I hesitate to get too many road paving because I lose count of how many stones I'm using, but we're pretty good with getting some of the busier roads paved. Each of our main towns here, like I've paved around the towns for the most part. Now that looks different. Let's just see. Can we build a road on that? Yeah. Okay, whatever. It sort of looks like a paved road, but it's not, right? Alright, so they'll pave around that. Okay. So, in any event, we're producing more tools, so we probably even want to come over here. Well, let's see. What is our tools limit? Let's take... just 300. Expected it to go up by 20. And what is our clothing limit? Don't we have a tailor? Is that the tailor? No, this is the tailor. Yeah, let's take this up to 300 as well. And what I promised you guys I would do in this episode, we built these 2 houses too. All the things that I said I was going to do at the end of the last episode pretty much got accomplished, and then we had an infestation. So how are we doing? It takes it a little while to clear up. Oh, where is it? Over here. Yeah, so all those trees will have to die off. We got 2 extra farms here, and so do we want to shut off one of these farms potentially I don't want to shut it off in early summer. But the other thing we talked about was designing this maybe. And I don't really intend to build it right this minute, but I'd like to get it designed so we're ready, kind of know the space it takes up. And I think I would start with, you know, I may even just pause this for a minute just so they don't end up building all these roads. Let's just pause it for half a second, because I might delete the roads after we, all right, just use them as a guideline. So I guess we would want to probably put paths in between, but let's get resource production quarry. I definitely think we want to keep them like here, right? And then 1, 2. Oh, can I not build that? Oh, really? You know what? I don't really like that. Maybe we... Do we need a road in between? Boy, it would have been nice if I had laid that out a little bit ahead of time. I think we could... Let's just do that again. Let's build it. I'd like to be able to get a road past here, if it's possible. Yeah, let's just see. Just put that there for blocking purposes. Oops. Alright, so that when we go to build this quarry... You know, the other thing I could do is bring it over this way a little bit more, right? Because that's a road now. Yeah, let's build this one with the space again. Leave that in there. Can I just move this over? And not... See how this would... Like, I don't care if there's a road in between each one, but... Yeah, let's see. I need to build a little bit more road. No, can't build it there. Just so I don't build it... Like, I'd like to, especially if we're going to put this forestry thing, I think they'd be better off coming up this side, if that makes sense. Like, because if we build a road over here, so let's just see, can we get rid of some road? All right, and then... So if we wanted to leave a space in between there, we'd have to come over to here. Right, and then let's build a road. Again, just as much a space holder. And then can we still get our mines in here? So let's figure on the mine. So that mine's blocking this mine. Nah, it wouldn't go in there anyway. Yeah, we really couldn't get one in there unless we went back further. And that one's blocking this one, so... And then that's just off by 1. No, that could go there. Right, and then that could go there. That's yeah, it couldn't go there anyway. Can it go back further? Nah, so we wouldn't get another one in there anyhow. Because even if I go forward, I have other red dots there, and I can't go back this way. Which is fine. So let's just take a look over here. Right. Might as well push it back as far as we can. Yeah, I can't build one there because it's no matter which way I go, it's not. Nah, see, it's flipping the red spaces. Okay, we could build one there. Build one here. So let's pause all of these. Just, I don't think we'd ever build all that, but it's space holders, if nothing else. Yeah, that one's paused. Pause. Actually, they're kind of hard to see, aren't they? Yeah, we can't get one here. So that gives us an idea. All right, so yeah, like I said, I don't want all these roads to be built. So let me come in here. We'll get time playing. I want to keep that moving. All right, but now we know. Oops, I don't want to cancel actually roads that have been built. All right, we can get a road through here. We can get a road around there. So that sort of lays out all of that. Now, what I was wondering, yeah, let's play time. Okay. Cool. So we have that designed. Oh, you know what? Pause these. We don't need them built yet. And then that kind of does leave some extra room right here. So what I'm thinking is, yeah, where does this guy extend to? Yeah, do we get... I don't know that we could even fit a marketplace in here. Yeah, so that's all red. Yeah, I mean, we could maybe do one here, but that's sort of getting into our thing. Now, you know what? We do have some land over here, don't we? And if I put this market like this, we could put some houses on the other side of the river that's closer to that forestry thing. Right? And then that would get them supplies into here so that... Yeah, I hate when they're kind of like this. This game's not the greatest at diagonals. So, how are we doing otherwise? We're not having a catastrophe when I'm not paying attention. Right, our people, yeah, we have a lot of children, but I think we're doing okay. I built a few more. Well, this house is being built as we speak. We are still playing time. Yeah. So I think we have a little time. Again, like I said, it's kind of getting big enough that if there's inefficiencies, they're not critical. We just really need to keep an eye on our overall food production. But this might give us a nice place to build some more farms. Like, I don't know that we're ever going to really need another, and if we do, we can always build another blacksmith up in here. You know, we've got quarries planned, we've got 87 mines planned that we really don't need that many. So, you know, this should be doing a lot better over here with the wood, and then we're going to have another wood thing down there. So I'm really feeling pretty good. Now this is looking a little sparse here, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why it's looking so sparse. Maybe because we got rid of all those... In other words, we don't seem to have a huge number of adult trees there. How are we doing up in this one? Now that sort of happens too because you may not have... Like, you know, we got a river cutting through this, and some of this... I think this is in a pretty good spot. You know, yeah, it looks like it's a little bit of land down here I don't think they can plant in, but... So in other words, if you put one of these in and you put two foresters and a lot of the space is taken up by, I don't know, mountains or rivers or whatever it is, you might tend to overcut the trees. But it could just be that I took out so many of the stones at the same time. Right, so anyway, let's zoom back to this guy and back to where we were. Yeah, so I'm thinking like, you know, up in here we do some more farms eventually, and probably we want to consider actually doing any of this, or do we just want to hold off for a little bit until we get... Is there any other need for population? Probably could use some more houses in this region, especially if we're going to ramp up this farm. We're going to start ending up getting spaces. Yeah, see, this is kind of a dead space here, but you can, you know, you could put farms or something in here. Yeah, so our builders don't have that much to do. You know what I'd like to do? I think catch a moment. Let's finish up some of the constructions that we've been doing. Like, we'll close this market.
Yeah, stone houses. Yeah, we might as well get that stone house done because we're looking at our wood. We're finally up into the hundreds in our wood. And our taverns, you know what? They're sort of. Let's go with 1,000. Though they will use up more of our food that way, which is kind of okay for now. And then we could probably talk about taking a look at our inventory. And yeah, we're over 200 iron tools. Yeah, our coal keeps going up. I think we could cut down on the number of people with the coal, but this will take up. Yeah, I think we'll. There we go. Now we got more than we need, and let's up this temporarily. And I think I want to try to keep a little over 10 laborers just to help out with kind of everything. I don't know if that's being the most efficient, but I'm kind of okay with that. Let's turn our orientation the normal way. There. So what do you think? I think that will be a nice little addition to our world. Is this guy in a good spot? Yeah, you know what? I think I could move him. I think that there's kind of a big area down here that wouldn't get planted, and even though we'd get into that river a little bit more, I sort of just put him there for remembering purposes. And get another forester. Just go up a little bit more towards that river. Yeah, I think that may be half dozen of one, 6 of the other, but right, just I think moving it up gets them a little bit more square in that area, or circular in that area. See trees falling down. How are we going to get into this town? Can we go through here? Oh, you know what? We could do a tunnel. We haven't done tunnels, have we? There we go. We got the house built. Let's go see about how we can get into. Yeah, I'm not going to build any more mines ever. Alright, do we just want to do that? That's like, how about if we went this way? Nah. So there's certain ways you can. I wish it would like hug that better. Like it works when you're going like down this way. Like if we come over here, I want to start on a green one. See how it like hugs that real nicely? It's kind of what I want to have happen here, but I think we just have to just self-hug it. Let's turn so I can see. Right, and this will just sort of outline, and we'll let them build this. Now we're getting into. I can't see anymore. That's already a road. There we go. Clear. You know what? Let's take this one. This we can't build, so I actually want to build it here. And then yeah, that's already a road. Oop. Yeah, I think that's actually a road too. Yeah, so we need to go. Alright, so there we go. So that'll get a road out to here. Now this will make sort of a double road around all of this. Kind of nice to be able to not worry about surviving for a minute. Yeah, see, this is red. We'll let them build these roads. Right, that's red, so we come here. I think that was right. Knock down the tree for me. Right, and those other roads are actually kind of internal to this, which is fine. But we'll just build those outer roads. And then let's, just because we can we get a bridge? so we know where the end of our bridge is. We'll build that road. Sound fair? Good, so we got more breeding couple. Let's click on that. Good, so we got, we'll, let's up our laborers a little bit, take those builders off, even though they could be building all those roads and such. All right, very good. So that's a start. That's a whole project. Are they actually building? Oh yeah, they're right on top of those roads, aren't they? Good. So what else? Let's take a quick look over here at our inventory graphs. So our production, or our people are going up slowly but surely. It doesn't seem it because it seems like the adults is staying the same for a while. It's kind of flat, a little bit up. But it's overall, yeah, a few more children. We'll see. But we're building more houses, so that helps. We'll get more babies born. And, wrong button. Sorry, resume. What happens is I go down to here at times, and it goes to the Windows thing. Like I have it kind of maximized and windowed mode. But anyway, that's my problem, not yours. All right, so how are we doing over here? Do we want to? Yeah, we got 34,000 food, and we're in late autumn. I'm thinking maybe we cut off one of these farms. What do we got here? Peppers. Got more peppers. I don't know. Yeah, so this one, we're going to cut the work off here. Now we should go take a look at those other orchards that had the problem. And I don't think we have any corn that we're making. So let's get these guys to work on corn, and we're going to turn that down to that. And then we're going to come here, and we're going to say, I don't know. Let's see. What do we have? We're going to look at our production too. So, no apples. Let's do apples. I don't know if that's because we ate all the apples, but regardless, right? There you go. So 25 of 26. So why do we have... What farm or place doesn't have enough people? So we're... Because we put on 2, but we only took off 1. Now these 2 are stopped, and it looks like the infestation is gone. This one... Are we making plum alcohol over here? Yeah, so let's keep this on plum. So let's turn this work back on. We'll turn this work back on. We'll need 2 more people. Good. And then we'll have another whole farming town going here as we get this all built. Good. And that'll stay ahead of our food. Look, we even have these fisheries turned off, so we should be in pretty darn good shape everywhere with food. And then if we were to come back with this one... Trader. Nah. He's just a food trader, so I'm going to dismiss him. I think the only thing... Well, we'll take a look at our leather. We'll go over there and look at our production in general. But it's just those items that we don't have that I would like to get. Let's take a look. I do need to put a pause in the video before about the half-hour mark, or else we get stuttery. I could probably do a stealth pause, but I'll just pause it. Run a little time forward until we get something exciting. So when we do turn this guy on... where'd he go? Did we turn him on? Where was I? Oh, over here, that's right. Yeah, so we don't have, what? Do we have beans? Yeah, we have some beans we're making someplace. I'm trying to figure out, you know what, we don't have potatoes. Let's turn this guy to potatoes. Potatoes are good. Plus potatoes, make French fries with potatoes too, right? How can you live without French fried potatoes? Alright, so that guy's on stop. And is there anything else? Squash. Are we not making any squash? Not a big, huge squash fan. I mean, it's good, but I don't know that I would. I mean, I would eat it if that's what I had and I was hungry, but not like I would. One of those things like cabbage. I don't know if I'd walk 3 miles just to go get a squash or a cabbage. Yeah, we got some wheat. Just trying to give them all the things. And we got apple trees planted. No venison. It would be nice to get them some venison. Alright, you know what? Let's turn these down while we're thinking about it. Probably need to go check over here. Did I turn these down? And I need to put a pause. So what I'll do is nothing too exciting. Yeah, 1 of 1. Yeah, 1 of 1. Okay, good. Is I will look for some more things to talk about. We'll let a little bit of progress happen, and yeah, we got a trader. Let's see what he has first. Pepper seeds. We already have pepper seeds. Plum. Yeah, see, we've kind of got everything covered. Peach. Yeah, I don't think we have peach tree, do we? I'm going to go look to see what the other things is after I pause it as well. Oops, dismiss that guy. Yeah, I mean, we could order some things. I mean, we have a few episodes left in us before we would reach the max, so let's dismiss him. So I will pause the recording for a little bit. We'll build up a few more things, and we'll decide where to go next. And we'll take a look at our production and kind of decide what we're going to do in the next episode. Though we will... What do you got here? Why can't I click on you? Oh, is it you? Where are you? Oh, because it's already open. There we go. So we'll have another chapel going. God, something was wrong. Now, is there anything else? No, we don't have any of the other... We have all the support buildings we need over in this area. So we got a tavern down here. We've got school there, tailor, blacksmith, and then we'll have these kind of outposts, so to speak. And I don't know how fancy we'll make those, but we probably could get like houses built in here sometime sooner rather than later. And you are hitting your limit. I'm okay with that. Kind of okay with just letting these guys hit their limit. Same thing with the tool guys and the tailors. It doesn't mean I don't want to move some stuff in, but until our wood is really just flush, I don't mind that they just sort of stop for a few minutes, even if it's not the most efficient thing. And we will take a look at how much leather we have for trading for that, and we will take a look at our production, but let me cut it before it gets all stuttery. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, we've had a bunch of deaths. It just seems that I can't ever escape the deaths. Our population, there we go. We got another one born. Well, we got a pretty healthy child population. It's, you know, I think we could probably up the number a bit. And in that light, what I think I'd like to do is plan a little tiny bit for roads. So here's the reason I like to do this extra width around these guys. One, I think it looks a little better. Right, like that is... You know what? I didn't do this one extra, did I? No, see that's red, green. See, so we could do... Well, let's just start here. Well, I'm going to start actually right here. Just go till it turns red. All right, so a little bit of extra road. But then this boxes in these houses real nice. Like if we come in here, and you can leave a space between them, which I think just will help. We've really been pretty lucky with fires. Like we didn't get any fire. So you can leave a space between each house. And that cuts down on the fire likelihood. But I just want to pause 2 of these. And I'll pause this one. And we'll just get this guy built. That'll get us some builders down into here. And then we can talk about doing more in this area. But it's going to take a while to get this house built. We'll get this marketplace going. This is not a big enough thing for fishing. It's like a little well, we would call it a creek or a crick. We were talking about this, the difference between British English and creek or crick, and what it is. Like, to me, a crick is even smaller than this. This is a creek, right, where it's a small river, like as opposed to this is actually a river here. This would be a creek, which is, decent size, just not a full-size river. Then a crick is just like a little tiny stream of water. Maybe you have like one or two little springs that spring up, and you have this tiny little offshoot feeding into here. Anyway, at least that's how I use the word. No probably official. Well, I mean, I guess there's a definition, but some of those words in English people use differently. So what I would like to do to wrap up this episode is just take a look. As I said, kind of ran out of time before I needed to put the pause in. Let's just take a look at our production. Yeah, look, we're down to 145 people. Let's take a look at our graph. Yeah, it's not really showing because I think we've had some births, but yeah, we've definitely had a few die of old age. It's probably when a migrant group came in and kind of threw some extra people to be that age, and nothing to get too excited about. We're still doing okay, but we're down to 7 laborers. I guess we can, let's take a few people off of building. Like I said, I'd like to keep that labor number over 10 if we can. And we're building another house, and we'll go around. Let's take a look at this. We may make some decisions. Yeah, hopefully we can get some nomads, because I think we're doing really well on food. And if more nomads would come, that would definitely be another big, nice boost to our population. I think we could absorb them pretty easily at this point. So let's go ahead and let's first take a look at our inventory. Look at all that beef. You know what, we're going to take, just for the sake of trading, let's take, and we don't have any beef stored. And I don't really need 9,000 clogging up everything. Let's put 1,000 in here. Let's leave both of these open for a minute. We'll do 1,000 in here of beef. All right, and that gives us, I think at some point we sold off a good amount of our food anyway, so mutton. People are eating some beef and some mutton. So let's see, where's mutton? Yeah, let's take this up to 2,000. We're only 20% full. Oops. Let's pin that guy as well. Mutton. Take it up to 2,000 here. Try to keep these a little evenly full, that way. Now, what else do we have a lot of? Firewood I don't want to mess with at the moment. Though we probably could, because firewood, how are we? We have no firewood here. Let's do 300. How about in this one? And we have 300. Good. See, my mind thinks back to the same things. Now, what else do we have? Chestnuts. Things that are over 1,000 over here. Cabbages. Yeah, just we got 2,000 cabbage in there, and we'll take this one up to 2,000. Now we are in late spring, so we should be okay with the food. Eggs. 400. Let's take it up to 500. We don't have too many. We got a good number of eggs. This is already at 600. Let's take this one up to 600 as well. Now, how are we doing? Coats and tools. Yeah, see, they're good to trade for certain people want steel tools. So let's take this up to 80. We'll take these steel tools up to 80. We can get some more warm coats. Let's get 100 in here. 100 in here. So that should give us some good, if we want to trade for stuff, that'll be good. All right, so I think that we got a good amount of wool too. We'll hold off on the wool. Now, how are we doing on leather? That was one of the things. Yeah, see, we only have 12 leather, so it's good to up some of those things. Maybe we can trade for some more leather at that point. Farmer has died. Yeah, look, we're just struggling on people dying. Looks like we have a little bit of a die-off. So let's take a look at our production. I don't know how to make I can make the thing bigger, but it's already kind of big enough for most purposes. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'll try to read out the numbers. So we produced close to 700 logs, and we got 500. We're good on that. Pretty even with the stone, but again, that's building projects as much as anything else. We're over 500 with the stone. What is our limit on our stone production? Yeah, let's take that up to 1,000 now that we're getting bigger. I don't really want them hitting the limit on stone. And that could throw off the numbers if they were hitting the limit and I didn't realize it. Iron. We're not producing enough iron. Yeah, you know what? That's sort of... Now, how's the coal? Coal, we're producing a lot more than we need. So I think what I'd like to do is... Yeah, we took this one down to 3. Let's take... Is this the coal mine? Yes. So let's take this one down to 3. And we'll take... This one's at 7. What is this one at? 7. So let's take each of these up to 8. Oops. Why I clicked on the market. All right, that'll throw a little bit more people towards mining at that point for the iron. Now these are at 69%, 75%. Okay, so we're good about that. This is the one that's going to run out first. But there we go. So just doing a little balancing here. Nice to. Herbs, yeah, even though we cut off, we're down to 2 herbalists and we're still making plenty of herbs. Now, I am a little concerned because we got a little bit, we lost a half a health heart, which is kind of an issue, I guess. And let's see, so where were we at? Yeah, food, 26, or almost 27,000, and we ate 23,000. So, you know, seem to be pretty good on that. And again, I feel good that we have the ability to ramp it up, and we're going to start working on this down here, which will ramp it up further, right? Where we'll try to put a bunch of farm fields here. We'll have our forestry area here. We might even put something else here. We could do no more mutton or cattle. How are we doing on chicken? Eggs? Yeah, we got a lot of eggs. Don't we get chickens? Oh, okay. If you scroll up. Yeah, we're eating a lot of the chicken. Well, that's fine. Chicken's good. All right, so production. Clothes, yeah, way more clothes than we need, which is good. And it might slow down if we, run out of leather, but we're still doing fine. And the fact that we don't have any venison is also pointing out, like, let's see, hunter. Yeah, see, we have 0 hunters, so we could turn those hunters back on if we start getting worried about the leather. So let's see, clothes, alcohol. Well, we're dead even with alcohol, which is fine. That's sort of a bonus thing anyway. Keep them a little happier. But we could talk about building another brewery someplace, I think. And then, yeah, we're making way more coal than we need. Yeah, what is our coal limit? We'll go, I think I might adjust that again just so they don't, or do we stop them from working? We'll see. Let's go see what the limit is. And then we're making way more textiles than we are. And I think that's probably, a lot of that's probably the wool. So we could, use a little less wool production, a little more, whatever the heck you call it, production. Leather production. But then the problem is we already got 10 tons of meat, so I don't know. All right, so what I'm thinking of is, let's see, where do we have breweries? Okay, so part of the thing is you're out of wheat. Okay. That's definitely a problem. I mean, it's not a huge problem, but I kind of hate to put a farm field right there. Probably squeeze one in right here. Just because if I, kind of like to keep the people a little centralized, and if we decide to ramp up people in this area. If I thought about it through, more, let's see, let's start here. So that's, we can't build it there, and then, so it would be like here. Why can't I? Okay, so that would, it would start right here. Yep, 8 by 15. All right, so we'll have a crop field there, and then maybe we'll turn that to wheat. We'll see. And then the other thing is, it is the end of the year, or end of the summer. Look at all those people dying. We just can't quite get ahead. But we're holding our own. And so we have this brewery. We have this brewery. It doesn't have enough plums. Yeah, that's 2 plum orchards. Let's see. I don't want to put too many orchards in a row right there. And I really don't want to build anything there. And this is kind of close to there. And then we should have, yeah, this brewery here is making what? Plum. And you know, you had, part of the problem with the plums is probably because we had this infestation. Let's go see what this trader wants. Yeah, just food. No seeds. And you know what? I forgot to go. Oh, we got 2 trade. Yeah, that's another one. That was the one we just looked at. Wheat seeds, apple seeds. I know we have both of those. So we're going to dismiss both of these guys. It's okay. It's going to be the name of the game. Hopefully, we can always buy the last 2 to reach our goal. It would be nice to... Yeah, we need to think about another cemetery at some point. So I guess what I'm thinking of is, with the alcohol, why wouldn't we build one over here? All right, so let's see about like this. It's kind of weird that you would build a road around that one. It already looks like a road, but... Right, and then I don't know that I need to worry about the double roading it too much here, because it's... But I think it is okay. Right? Because it's going to be kind of a goofy town anyway. That mountain right there. But then, yeah, if we did a brewery over here, probably like right in this area where it's closer to our farms. Now, what? Oops. Yeah, we should be able to make like whiskey with corn, right? Yeah, it's as good a place as any. I think I'll just pause it for now, and then we'll come back in the next. I might build it in between the episodes. We'll see. All right, so this crop field. Yeah, corn. Can we do corn? Certainly, if you were in Tennessee, you would be able to do corn. And let's just take a look. Oh, no, they don't let you do corn. It must not be Americans that made this game. I'm just kidding. All right, anyway. So, yeah, the problem with this over here, well, we could do apple cider. Maybe we put in another apple thing, or else it'll probably almost definitely run out, right? Where's our... Yeah, maybe we just do another orchard here. 4 by 15. Let's do 2 orchards. 2 orchards, 4 by 15. Now, what was this crop field? I forget that quick. Yeah, and I think we would, well, let's just leave that question mark. I'm okay with that. All right, well, there we go. So I think we're in pretty good shape, right? We took a look at our economy. You know, I'd still like to get some more people, but we'll get these houses built over here. There we go. We got this house built, so that should, yeah, these guys builder, miner. So if we give them some building projects, and then we'll get this built as well in between the episodes. How's that sound? And that'll get, you know, some supplies as we ramp up the houses. We can get this built, talk about hunting lodge and a gatherer, and just making more and more efficiency improvements. But I think we're doing very well, and this will, I think this will take us over the hump for any amount of food that we would ever need. I just think we'll be in great shape. And we should really think about a cemetery too. All right, so maybe in the next segment, let's, as we sometimes do, let's finish where we started. Back over here, we got enough firewood. That's another thing we may consider moving over into here. Do we have firewood? I know we moved some. Yeah, let's take that up to 500, even because we're doing pretty well with our wood too, and that's an excellent thing to trade. I almost said goodbye, didn't I? I do this all the time in videos. All right, there we go. So, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions and the support and the comments. I definitely appreciate it all. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.